Going on to you Leos out there. Hope y'all are having a great day. Smash the like button. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to be able to financially support the channel, so I can most definitely keep the show going. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. So for you Leos, you have the Three of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. So there's some people stepping to you right now acting like they're better than you, and you Leos are not having it. The Three of Swords and the King of Pentacles, you've been around the block more than a couple of times to know what's going on. You know, you're experienced enough to know that just because somebody tries to act like they're better than you doesn't mean that they actually are. And so you Leos, you know, you're not trying to call their bluff. You just don't want to interact with them. And you have made a decision not to. This is recent, by the way. This is probably just happening or just happened, where you Leos try to get to know somebody and they're on the same timetable as so many others, right? But the Knight of Wands, here they are trying to act like they're so much better than you and that they got it. And, you know, the way that they came off at first probably was very wholesome, inviting. But, you know, they wanted to be arrogant and confident just like everybody else, or they act like it. And so they're getting what it is that they're working hard for. You know, they're getting you to say you don't care, you know. But the Four of Cups and the Devil represents, but all it is that they want to do is control you right now. You know, a lot of those individuals just want to do is control you. The Four of Cups and the Devil, they can't stand the fact that you Leos don't really care whether or not you get the draws or not. You don't really care about that. You don't. Because you, like I said, you've been around the block more than a couple of times to be able to know and not care about, you know, not be so pressed and not care about if someone wants to hang out with you or not. Because for you, a lot of you Leos already know the game. You know that what it is that people, you know that the game is nothing but a big pool of confusion. People will say that they like something and that they like someone, and then they'll start disrespecting after a while the same individuals that they said that they liked and loved and was seeking and wanted. Those are the same individuals that they end up disrespecting anyway, just like the same common individuals that they spent so much time bashing, right? So a lot of you Leos understand, hey, you know, that's a ball and chain that you don't have to put on, and you're choosing not to put that on yourself. And the Four of Cups represents you living your life happy. You know, you living your life very much so content. And the Devil represents those same individuals that represented this Knight of Wands. People were trying to get you jealous and upset and running all these little psychological mind games on you, or they think that that's what they're doing. They're upset about the fact that you don't really care whether or not you were with them. You know, you're willing to dissolve yourself and allow it to go in whatever direction. You know, you're willing to become a part of whatever it is, in a sense that if they were to act like they have some sort of home training, then you Leos would have been with them, you know, your Leo way. And then, but they chose not to do that. They chose to not be around you. So that's what it is that you Leos did. You was like, okay, fine. You can adapt to that too. You know, a lot of you Leos went from being fixed so much to still being fixed, but knowing what it is that you need to be fixed about, what you need to be fixated about. And a lot of you Leos understand that you shouldn't be so fixated on everything. You shouldn't be so fixated on what it is that you know, so fixated on certain things. You have to allow a certain amount of mutability and change to actually exist, because a lot of you Leos are starting to realize that, you know, if you talking about interacting with other human beings, they are so fickle. They're so fake. It's not even mutable. They're just fake. Because mutability is about adapting regardless of whatever the scenario is. It's again, and I gotta talk about it. It's like what Bruce Lee, who was a mutable zodiac sign himself, he was a Sagittarius, born November 27th, right? 3 months to the day, right? We share as far as 3 months to the day. But which is the 27th, because my birthday is on the 27th as well. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is him being a mutable sign, he talked about the art of mutability in the way that he did things, in the way that he specifically did things. So that's what it is I'm saying. A lot of you Leos understand, hey, nothing lasts forever. And particularly modern day relationships don't last forever, if we're talking specifically. People talk so much about what it is that they want. Here's an oxymoron for you. A person who is fronting like they're so much better than you, but then they're upset that you Leos are not sweating them like gym socks. You're not mad. You're not running after them. You're living your life. You're doing your own thing. They're upset about that. They're mad about that. They're mad because they can't really control that. The Page of Cups now and the Seven of Wands are all about how, because you Leos understand what they would do if they can control others, but thankfully they can't, right? They can't control you. They can't control what you do. They can't control what you think. And the Page of Cups is about, and you're doing your own thing. The Seven of Wands, you can't believe how long it took you to actually develop this brand new mentality that you have now. Because the Knight of Swords represents, you wish that you would have had, you wish that you would have had this mentality a very long time ago. You wouldn't have wasted so much time on individuals that would just turn out to be just essentially just a big waste of time. That's all it is that some people turned out to be, is a waste of time. And a lot of you Leos wish that you would have known back then what it is that you know now. You would have been further along ahead. That's how it is that you Leos wish. The Eight of Swords, however, represents as well not to be suspicious of every last person essentially that comes your way, because you don't want to become suspicious of all of them, right? What you want to do is you want to make sure that you Leos actually have a good idea about a person's character enough to decide whether or not you should stay away from them, right? You don't want to start being overly suspicious and then become paranoid. But other than that, the Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, your life is much better without those individuals, because for you, a lot of you Leos very much so are doing your thing. Eight of Pentacles, addition by subtraction, The people that we spend so much time trying to hold on to are the people, most of the times, especially today, that are walls in our way, because all it is that they were trying to do is just stop us from doing the things that they want, that we wanted to do, and they wanted to control. And it's like, you can't, you're going to be hard pressed to try to control a fire sign. You're going to be hard pressed to try to control anybody, let alone a fire sign, especially the zodiac sign of ego. And ego is necessary to a certain extent, because ego, right, there's nothing wrong with an ego in the sense that your ego is your survivalism, right? Your ego is your survivalism. It's the part of you that keeps you going. It's the part of you that keeps you alive, right? Everyone has an ego. Myself, everyone in existence has an ego. But what it's about is learning how to manage said ego to where that ego doesn't get in the way of further development, of doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is keeping you alive. You have to actually manage that in, rein that in. And the Five of Cups now is about how, because it just would have been problems, egos, clashing, you know. Let's clarify the Five of Cups. So to clarify, you have the Page of Cups, Four of Wands, Nine of Swords, Three of Cups, and then you have the Knight of Swords. So what I'm seeing here for you Leos, right, to clarify the Five of Cups, like I said, it would have just been a big ball of confusion. It would have been a lot of arguments. It would have been a lot of disputes, a lot of problems, a lot of confusion and stuff like this. And the Page of Cups and the Four of Wands is about you Leos want peace and tranquility, and you have achieved that. But the Nine of Swords and the Three of Cups represents just because those individuals, just because you achieve peace, inner peace and tranquility, enough to live without no one else in your life, doesn't mean that these people have peace and tranquility in their lives. They very much so worry about what you Leos got going on, because they were putting on an act. They were selling wolf tickets. All of this mind games, they were selling wolf tickets. And the Knight of Swords is all about how, the Knight of Swords is all about how it is that, you know, you Leos, well, I should say them, they really want to come in and apologize, but their ego put them in a terrible disposition because they're in too deep when it comes to their ego. They're in too deep, Leo. And what I mean when I say they're in too deep, I'm talking about they realize that they talk too much crap. They were too disrespectful. They tried to make it seem like, you know, they just committed too much to the nonsense, and you Leo saw right through it, right? Because a lot of times, even when it comes to dating, a lot of times when people say that they have a significant other, they be lying.